If you are over 60 and still spending money on magnesium pills, hoping they will fix your sleep, your muscle cramps, your nerves, your stress, or your digestion, I want you to pause with me for a moment. Not because magnesium does not matter, it absolutely does. But because one of the biggest supplement myths older adults keep hearing is that a pill is always the easiest answer. And when it comes to magnesium, that belief can become expensive, frustrating, and surprisingly disappointing. Because here is the truth many people are never told clearly enough. A lot of magnesium pills are not absorbed very well at all. You pay for the bottle, you swallow the tablet, and a large portion of it passes straight through the body without doing what you hoped it would do. That is why so many older adults keep taking magnesium and still feel the cramps, still feel the poor sleep, still feel the tension, and still wonder why nothing changes. So today, I want to walk you through 6 foods that can help deliver magnesium in a way the body often uses far more effectively. And more importantly, I want to show you why food can sometimes outperform the supplement shelf entirely, especially after 60, when digestion, absorption, and mineral balance matter more than ever. Because your body was designed to work with real food. Food comes with fiber. Food comes with healthy fats. Food comes with natural helper compounds that make minerals easier to use. And that means when you get magnesium from the right foods, you are not just getting a number on a label. You are getting a whole package your body actually recognizes. Let's start with number 6, dark chocolate, at least 70% cacao. Now, I know some people smile when they hear this because it sounds almost too good to be true. Chocolate? Really? Yes, really. But we are not talking about sugary candy. We are talking about dark chocolate with a high cacao content. Dark chocolate contains magnesium, and it also brings compounds that help the body use it more intelligently. It comes packaged with natural fats, which slow digestion in a helpful way and give the body more time to absorb nutrients instead of rushing everything through. And for older adults, that matters. Because after 60, digestion is often less efficient. Food can move too fast. Stomachs may be more sensitive. Mineral extraction is not always as strong as it once was. So when a food naturally slows things down in a beneficial way, that can make a real difference. Dark chocolate also has another lovely advantage. Magnesium supports relaxation, and dark chocolate in the evening, in a modest amount, can feel like a comforting ritual instead of a sterile supplement. The key is quality and amount. Look for dark chocolate that is 70% cacao or higher, and choose a natural version when possible. A little is enough. You do not need a giant bar. Just a few squares can become a smart, satisfying part of your routine. Now let's move to number 5, black beans. Black beans are one of the most underrated foods in the entire grocery store, especially for older adults trying to nourish themselves well without spending a fortune. They are affordable, they are versatile, and they bring a generous amount of magnesium along with fiber, plant compounds, and other minerals that help create a more supportive internal environment. Now here's what makes black beans especially useful after 60. They do not just bring magnesium, they help the body hold on to it longer. The fiber in black beans slows digestion and gives the intestines more time to extract what they need. That matters because a pill on an empty stomach may race through the system, but a mineral-rich food moves through a much more natural pathway. Black beans also support the gut, and the gut matters more than most people realize when it comes to mineral absorption. When digestion improves, nutrient use often improves too. If you use dried beans, soaking them and cooking them well can make them easier to tolerate. If canned beans are what make life simpler, that is perfectly reasonable too. Rinse them well and use them. Convenience that supports you is still support. Now let's move to number 4, cooked spinach, not raw. This one is important because many people assume raw spinach is automatically the healthiest form. But when it comes to magnesium, that is not always the most useful way to think about it. Raw spinach contains compounds that combine minerals and make them harder to absorb. Cooking changes that. Heat softens the structure, reduces some of that interference, and makes the magnesium much more available. And after 60, availability matters more than theory. It is not enough for a food to contain a nutrient on paper. Your body has to actually be able to use it. Cooked spinach also has another advantage. The volume shrinks, which means you can eat much more of it without effort. What would have been a giant bowl of raw leaves becomes a manageable side dish or simple addition to eggs, soup, beans, or grains. And if you cook it with a little olive oil, that can make it even more satisfying and helpful. Warm, simple, and easy to use. That is the kind of nutrition I trust most. Now let's move to number 3, avocados. Avocados are one of the kindest foods for the aging body. They are soft, satisfying, easy to digest for many people, and they come with a combination older adults often need more of: magnesium, healthy fats, and fiber. And those healthy fats matter a great deal. Magnesium does not work in isolation. It works in context. An avocado provides a natural setting that helps nutrients move through the body more steadily and gently. It also slows digestion in a helpful way, which supports better absorption and more stable blood sugar. That means avocado is not just about magnesium. It is about creating a calmer, steadier environment in the body overall. I also love avocados because they fit so easily into real life. On toast with eggs, in a salad, mashed into a bowl, added to lunch. Even with a squeeze of lime and a little salt, they become something simple and deeply satisfying. And after 60, foods that are both nourishing and easy to keep in the routine are worth their weight in gold. Now let's move to number 2, pumpkin seeds. If you want one of the most concentrated food sources of magnesium that is still easy to keep in the house, pumpkin seeds are a beautiful option. They are small, yes, but do not underestimate them. They are dense with magnesium and bring other supportive nutrients alongside it. That matters because real food almost always works better in teams than isolated nutrients do alone. Pumpkin seeds can be sprinkled onto yogurt, oatmeal, soups, salads, or even eaten as a small snack. And because they are easy to store, easy to carry, and easy to portion, they fit well into everyday life. If digestion is sensitive, soaking them or using pumpkin seed butter may feel gentler. And that is an important principle after 60. The best food is not just the one with the strongest nutrient profile. It is the one your body can actually handle and use comfortably. Pumpkin seeds can support muscles, nerves, sleep, and steadier energy. And they do it through food, not force. That is exactly the kind of support I like to see. And now we come to number 1, raw cacao nibs. This is the food many people overlook completely, and yet it may be one of the strongest magnesium foods you can add to your routine. Raw cacao nibs are very different from processed chocolate. They are more bitter, more natural, and much less altered. That matters because processing can strip away some of the very compounds that help minerals work well in the body. Cacao nibs bring magnesium in a very intact, natural package, along with plant compounds that support circulation and cellular function. In other words, they do not just offer the mineral, they offer an environment that helps the body use it better. That is one reason some people notice a difference in energy, mood, and steadiness when they start using real cacao instead of relying only on supplements. Now, I am not saying everyone needs to sit down and eat a bowl of raw cacao nibs tomorrow. They are bitter, and some people need time to get used to them. But a small amount added to yogurt, oatmeal, or blended into something warm can become a powerful little habit. And sometimes the most powerful habits are the ones that look small from the outside. So what does all of this really mean? It means that magnesium is absolutely essential after 60. Your body needs it for muscles, for nerves, for sleep, for digestion, for heart rhythm, for energy, for stress regulation. It matters enormously. But the delivery system matters too. A cheap, poorly absorbed pill may not do what you think it will. And that is why food can be such a smarter starting point. Dark chocolate for satisfaction and support. Black beans for affordable daily nourishment. Cooked spinach for usable mineral density. Avocados for fats and steadiness. Pumpkin seeds for concentrated support. Raw cacao nibs for one of the strongest natural magnesium options of all. That is a very different way of thinking about magnesium, not as a capsule, but as a pattern. A pattern of foods that keep showing up in the week and slowly help the body rebuild what it has been missing. And that is important because after 60, health is rarely built through one giant dramatic fix. It is built through repeated small choices that work with the body instead of against it. So if I were to summarize this simply, I would say this: do not assume a more expensive magnesium pill is automatically the answer. Start looking at how often real magnesium foods are actually showing up in your life. Are you eating beans, greens, seeds, avocados, cacao, dark chocolate in a thoughtful way? Because those foods do more than raise a number. They help feed the systems that make the body feel calm, steady, and strong. Age is just the beginning, and one of the smartest things you can do in this stage of life is stop treating food as background noise and start recognizing it as one of your most powerful daily tools. You have spent your whole life caring for others. It is time to care for yourself too. So the next time you are tempted to spend more money on another magnesium bottle, pause for a moment and ask yourself a simpler question. What if the real answer is already in my kitchen? Because sometimes the body does not need another pill. Sometimes it needs real food, used wisely, again and again.